Green Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the 2024-2025 basketball season. Tonight we're in the NLWN-TV studios and I'm Rick Olson getting ready to tip off the season tonight as the Colfax Viking Girls will take on the Eau Claire Regis Ramblers. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Regis Ramblers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Regis High School, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's season opening girls basketball game between the Eau Claire Regis Ramblers and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are coming off a 17-9 season last year and were 11-3 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, which earned them a tie for second place in the conference with the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Now, the Vikings wrapped up last season with a 57-38 loss to the Fall Creek Crickets in the WIAA Regional Finals. The Ramblers finished last season with a 21-6 record and were 10-4 in the Western Clover Belt Conference, which was good for a third-place finish. The Ramblers concluded last season with a trip to the WIAA Sectionals, where they lost to Fall Creek 32-29. The Vikings will need to replace players who graduated following last season. Those 5 players leave a big set of shoes to fill, including McKenna Shipman, Jada Anderson, Jeanette Hajdukovic, Meadow Keltner, and J.C. Bovey. Now this year, the Vikings look to be led by senior Kaysen Goodell, who's leading returning scorer from last season as she put up 8.5 points per game. Other Vikings who saw significant action last year included 5'6" junior guards Jordan Bovey and Sierra Shipman, who combined to average nearly 10 points per game. 5'7" junior forward Bryn Sikora also saw significant action and contributed an average of 5 points per game. Sikora is also the leading returning rebounder for the Vikings, averaging 4 boards per game. Also look for 5'11" junior Clara Hajdukovic to assert herself on the boards, as well as juniors Layla Hurlbert and Jenny Maves to contribute. Now this year, the Ramblers look to be led by 5'9" senior swing forward Carly Borst, who last season was the #2 leading scorer for the Ramblers behind graduated senior Ashley Chilson. Borst averaged nearly 14 points per game, as well as almost 8 rebounds per game. Also, look for 5'11" junior swing forward Izzy Reichert to contribute, as last season she averaged nearly 7 points per game. Other major contributors would include Kara Olsen, Mela Kassing, and Abby Hawker. Now, last season, these 3 combined for around 11 points and over 7 rebounds per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today on Coach's Corner, we're talking with varsity girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, in just a few minutes, we'll be tipping off the 2024-2025 basketball season. Now, last season, the Vikings finished off with a 17-9 record and second place finish in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. If you could give us a few comments about last year's success.
Yeah, we played a lot of really tough teams. I feel like it was probably our toughest schedule that we've ever played. And I was, happy with, our record at the end of the year and how hard my girls played and, not kind of the end of the year that I think that we wanted. But overall, looking back, it was a good season.
Now, this year, the Vikings have lost 5 pretty valuable players to graduation from last year's team. However, this year's team returns players with some level of experience, both starting and coming off the bench, including the leading returning scoring from last season, Kaysen Goodell. What can you tell us about Kaysen as well as some of the other players you're counting on for this season?
Yeah, anytime, someone becomes a senior captain, you're always looking to them to be a great leader. And Kaysen, I know will do that. She's, been playing on the varsity team since the sophomore. She started a few games and she's come off the bench a few games. She has a lot of experience under her belt, and she's just a great, hardworking kid. Very similar to the other 4 that will be joining her, for the most part, in the starting lineup. And that junior class is very talented athletically, all great, hardworking kids, very coachable. And, I think that they're excited for a more prominent role this season. They all, for the most part, played on the varsity team last year. But like you said, we're kind of playing behind some experienced senior players. And I think that they're chomping at the bit to get out there and, be playing the amount of minutes that those 5 kids played last year.
Well, the Packers have made that work, taken very talented people and made them play behind more experienced players and learn. And then all of a sudden when they step in, bingo. I mean, Jordan Love is a great example of that. And maybe you're going to get that kind of success out of these kids.
Yeah, for sure. I like what I've seen in practice so far. And well, obviously, anytime you lose, 5 seniors, I think you're subject to some, rocky parts where you're trying to work through some things. But I know that, they'll give me everything that I ask for, and will do everything they can to win and play hard. And so I'm excited to see, what they can do.
Now, tonight the Vikings take on the Regis Ramblers in what basically has become a rivalry game in a non-conference sort of way. What can you tell us about the Ramblers and what challenges do they present?
I think similar to us, they're trying to work around some important kids that they lost to graduation. A lot of, talent, I think. So I think it should be a good game. They have a few returning players as well, with quite a bit of varsity experience. So I'm sure similar to us, those kids are, excited to have an even more or a more prominent role than they did last year. And I think, they played in the tough Clover Belt last year and played some teams really tough, and they made it to the sectional final. And I'm sure they're looking to build off of that and, make it there again.
Now, after this long season off, did any players return with some new skill or drive that have turned out to be a pleasant surprise in these early practices?
I think we play a lot in the summer. So it's more so to just, gain that chemistry with, a new group and that kind of thing. So a lot of kids worked on a lot of different things this summer between whether it was playing with me or AAU or open gym or whatnot. So I think there's quite a few things that you'll probably be able to see, kids more developed than they were last year. So.
Okay. Well, Coach Sarrar, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, the Vikings will have a successful beginning to the 2024-2025 season.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to tip off their 2024-2025 season in style as they hope to work their way back toward a Dun St. Croix Conference crown, as well as a deep run in the WIAA playoffs in March. Now tonight, the Vikings take on the Regis Ramblers, who play out of the West Clover Belt Conference. Last season, the Vikings opened their schedule by hosting the Ramblers back on November 14th, and the Ramblers emerged victorious 53-39. Tonight, the big test for the Vikings, as it is every year, is to see how quickly this year's players can step up and fill the shoes of those who graduated. So, the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Regis High School as we bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's season-opening girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Eau Claire Regis Ramblers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking Girls Basketball is on the air.
Back over to Sierra Shipman. She spins at the top of the key, takes it into the lane, lays it up and puts it in. Sierra Shipman with her first 2 points of the night.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN-TV, is excited to bring you Colfax High School Girls Basketball.
Then over to the left side to Jordan, lays it up and puts it in.
Join us as we follow the Vikings as they battle their way through the Dun St. Croix Conference.
To Goodell from three, she'd hit the three!
And now, out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
And good evening. And welcome to Colfax High School. There we go. For some reason, our camera wasn't coming up, but now it is. And we're not at Colfax High School. We are, in fact, in the brand new Bill Ullman Gym at Regis High School. Brand new floor, new scoreboards, new paint job, new bleachers. It's basically a completely reworked gymnasium here, and it's pretty nice. As the Colfax Vikings under Courtney Sarrar, starting her 5th year as head coach, are taking on the Regis Ramblers. under the tutelage of Teddy Joas, who's starting his 5th year as head coach of the Rambler girls. Rick Olson here with you, along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera. And before we get any further along, we want to give a shout out to Regis High School, who came through for us tonight. We discovered one of our cameras decided to go on the fritz. After about 5 minutes of operating, it decided it was going into black and white mode, and we couldn't get it out of it. But they came up with a camera identical to it, and they're loaning it to us for the night, and so we're good to go. And Dan, we had a heck of a JV game that happened earlier.
Great job by everybody on both sides, and Colfax just had a little more power at the end to get it done.
Yeah, in fact, the Vikings at halftime were down by 12, and then they tied it up at 36 with 2:34 remaining in the game, and then eventually battled back and forth, pulling away in the last minute to take a 44-40 victory over the Regis Ramblers junior varsity. A lot of butterflies out there tonight, and so we expect to see some of that. Vikings have quite a number of graduated seniors that they have to find replacements for, but the Ramblers are kind of in the same boat. They have to replace 4/5 of their starting lineup, and so they're kind of looking for bodies as well. In fact, Dan, why don't you tell us what bodies are going to be in the game tonight?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Regis Ramblers. They're going to go with junior 5'11", number 4, Izzy Reichert. Senior, number 11, Carly Borst. Senior, number 12, Malia Cassing. Sophomore, number 21, Ellie Mae Cooper. And senior, number 23, Cara Olsen. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to start with senior, number 4, Kesa Goodell. Junior, number 12, Jordan Bovey. Junior, number 30, Sierra Shipman. Junior, number 34, Bryn Sikora. And junior, number 44, Clara Hajdukovic.
Okay, and we are just about ready to get things started here with the pregame ceremonies here at Regis High School. Regis has turned into be quite the non-conference rivalry for the Vikings. They opened against Regis last year, and the Ramblers came out on top. A couple years ago, the Vikings came out on top when they played the Ramblers. And
yeah, you know, they match up really good, both ways, offense and defense, so should be a good game.
And both teams are perennial powerhouses, and so it's a good competition for the Vikings to start out against.
Yeah, they both got senior leadership to start out. You know, for Colfax, they're going to have Kason Goodell as a senior, and Cassing for Regis.
Okay, we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer, Joe Roach.
We pray in the name of Jesus our Lord, in the name of the Father,
And that was the national anthem by the Regis High School Band, or at least what's left of it when a lot of them are suited up to play in the ball game. By the way, the officials for tonight's game, Dean Romanowski, Matthew Flater, and Dale Konwinski. And now back down to Joe Roach. And in the new gym, of course, as they have some tech things going on. Fans are currently watching a presentation on the video board. And now we'll get the starting lineups. And there's the starting lineups for both teams with all the production and everything they wanted to throw into it. It is kind of fun with a little more excitement for the kids to be able to come out in situations like that. Starting lineups one more time. Out on the floor for the Vikings are Goodell, Bovey, Shipman, Sikora, and Hajdukovic. And Clara Hajdukovic is going to be jumping center. And for the Ramblers is Reichert, Borst, Kassing, Cooper, and Olson. Official steps into the middle. And the ball gets tipped and controlled by the Vikings. Goodell with it. She's in the backcourt, takes it across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side. Now at the top of the key to Hajdukovic, then down into the right corner. Goodell with it, spins, or check that, that's not Goodell. Now they get it out to Bovey. Or that was Shipman. It's going to take me a bit. And the Ramblers come away with the ball. Down the floor is Cooper, and she goes into the lane, gets tied up, and we get a jump ball called. Regis will have the ball on the alternate side out. Ball comes into the left side. That's Cooper. She's bringing it out high. Feeds it over to Reichert on the left side. Now they get up to the elbow on the corner. That's Cassing. Then back out to Cooper and to Reichert from three. Answer is no. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Viking ball. Sikora to inbound. Gets it into Goodell. Goodell takes it over to the right side, gets it to Bovey. Now back out high to Shipman, to Hajdukovic. Then back across to Bovey. Three-pointer on the way, off the back of the air, no good. Ball's being chased down, out of bounds. And they're going to say Viking ball, went off the Ramblers. The ball comes in to Goodell. She's out between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Shipman. Over to Sikora, back out to Goodell. Top of the key over to Hajdukovic, and then to Bovey. Bovey over to the right side. Gets it to Shipman, to Hajdukovic, turns around, tries to feed it underneath to get it to Shipman, but she couldn't get the control of it, went out of bounds, and it'll be Regis ball. So Cooper to bring it down the floor for the Ramblers. Taking it over to the right side. Now she drives into the lane from the free throw line. Shots up, no good. Rebound taken down, put up and in by Cassing. Malia Cassing with the first 2 points of the night. Goodell over to Shipman. To Bovey. To Goodell on the right side. Over to Hajdukovic at the free throw line. She puts the shot up, no good, off the back of the iron, and down come the Ramblers. Reichert with it. Feeds it over underneath, and it got knocked out of bounds by Sikora. So the Ramblers will have it. They get it in between the circles now as Olsen feeding it off to the left side. That's Cooper. Cooper drives into the lane. A lot of bodies colliding, and we have a whistle. And the foul is going to be on Clara Hajdukovic. Her first personal. Oh, no, they gave it to Bryn Sikora. I thought he held up 2 fours.
Yeah, 34.
So the foul's on Sikora. It's her first personal, first team foul. And the first free throw is no good by Carly Borst. Second shot on the way, and that's good. Ramblers open up a 3-0 lead over the Vikings. Goodell feeds it off to the right side. Now to the top of the key, Sikora puts up a 3, and she just tied the game.
Yeah, good ball movement by Colfax to that open 3.
Down the lane comes Cooper, but whistle and a foul. She took it through the traffic and drew the foul. Foul's going to be on Jordan Bovey. That's the second team foul on the Vikings. First team foul on Bovey. Checking into the lineup for the Ramblers is Jace Jensen. She's in replacing Izzy Reichert. Jensen has it, puts it up from, foot was on the line. It would have been a 2 had it gone. It didn't. Rebound put up, no good. Battle for the rebound and out of bounds. We have a foul.
Should be a number 12.
And it is. The foul is on Malia Cassing. Her first team foul for the Ramblers. Ramblers showing pressure now. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Layla Hurlbert. Hajdukovic takes a seat. Goodell feeds it down the floor towards Sikora, but it got tipped and went out of bounds. Still Vikings ball. Kaysen Goodell, the only senior on the Vikings roster, gets it in. Bovey drives to the lane, turnaround jumper off the front of the air, no good. Rebound, strong rebound taken down by Shipman. Three-pointer on the way, and that's good!
Kaysen Goodell from long range.
So the Vikings take a 6-3 lead. Ramblers with the ball on the left side. Feed it to the elbow on the left elbow. That's Borst. Now gives it off and driving in, putting it up, no good. Rebound. That was by Cooper, by the way. Now it's out to Jensen. Into the lane. Shot goes up. It's no good. Whistle and a foul. That was Borst with the hook shot down underneath. So Carly Borst.
Hajdukovic on the foul. Oh, wait, no, it can't be.
It wasn't. No.
34.
That's Bryn Sikora. Her second. And the first shot is off the front of the air, no good. Carly Borst, if I'm not mistaken, is the only returning starter for the Regis Ramblers. Second shot on the way. That one's good. Vikings up 6-4. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Jennifer Maves along with Layla Hurlbert. Goodell with it. Tries to fire it down the floor. Got knocked right back to her. Now the Vikings have it down the floor, and it got tipped and out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Pass was intended for Hurlbert, but got tipped by the Ramblers. Bovey to inbound. Maves gets it to Goodell. Takes it into the lane, put it up, and she took an extra step. No Euro step there, Dan.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be a foul on Regis, but it's going the other way.
Izzy Reichert back into the lineup for the Ramblers. This is Borst with it between the circles. Moves over to the right side. Or check that, that's not Borst. That's Cooper. And the ball gets battled for, and traveling with it down in the corner is Abby Hawker.
Yeah, you can see both teams kind of maybe starting to lose their legs already here in the first half, and a few turnovers.
Well, they're only 1 week into practice. So you were talking before the game that this could be a game of which team keeps their legs the best. Goodell has it. High, wide, and right. Now she's got it between the circles and back over to the right side. Out high. Shot goes up off the iron. No good. That shot was by Lyric Nichols. And the Vikings steal the ball. Goodell brings it down the floor. Pulls up. Drives the lane and did not get it to go, but drew the foul. That foul is going to be on Abby Hawker. So Kaysen Goodell to the line. First shot is up and good. Hajdukovic and Shipman back in for the Vikings. Vikings up 7-4. And the shot's on the way. Off the back of the air, no good. Rebound taken down by Borst. She brings it down the floor. Actually, that's Cooper bringing it down the floor, stops at the top of the key, feeds it over to the right side to Reichert, and she put the three-pointer up and in. We're tied at 7. Kaysen Goodell with it. Getting it over to Nichols. And the long shot is good by Jordan Bovey. Jordan Bovey with a three-pointer.
Yeah,
Vikings back up on top.
Good job by Jordan. Use the screen.
Cooper with it. Near the top of the key, and she put it in. Just inside the arc. Down the floor to Jordan Bovey. Wide open shot. Puts it up. No. Rebound chased down. Vikings have it. Nichols came away with it. Gives it out to Goodell between the circles. Drives into the lane. Feeds it out to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound being chased down by Hajdukovic, but it went out of bounds before she could get there. So it's Regis ball. Reichert to inbound for the Ramblers. And she gets it to Hawker. Feeding it over to the left side. That's Kassing. Back out high, and now back over to the left side. Reichert with a three-pointer, and she hit it.
Yeah, fought her way through the screen. Sierra couldn't get out there fast enough.
So the Ramblers take a 12-10 lead over the Vikings. Three-pointer being launched by Sierra Shipman. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Reichert. She comes down the floor, top of the key, down to the free throw line. It's battled for, lost the handle, got it back, and the pass gets intercepted by the Vikings. That was Sikora with the interception, and then the errant pass, and we're going to get a jump ball call. Possession arrow goes to the Vikings. Sikora's pass over to Bovey was down at Bovey's feet, and she just couldn't get a handle on it. Adeline Aker into the lineup for the Vikings. Goodell has it, high, wide, and left. Takes it to the top of the key. Spins. And we have a whistle. Timeout on the side, and there was a spotlight that came on. That caused the stoppage. Now the Ramblers have it. They feed it over to the left side, on the left wing, to the left elbow. That's Kassing driving in. She got battled, and the ball went out of bounds off of Kassing, and the Vikings have it.
Yeah, good job by Claire Hajdukovic to get her hands in there and make the turnover.
Goodell brings it down the floor. Feeding it over to Shipman, then out to Hajdukovic. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound being chased down, fought for on the floor, and the Ramblers come away with it. That's Olsen with it, puts it up, no good. Rebound being battled for down in the lane, and we're going to get a jump ball. It's going to be Regis ball. Couple of substitutions for the Ramblers. Jace Jensen is one of them. And for the Vikings, Layla Hurlbert.
Good job by both coaches to rotate players and to keep some fresh legs.
Hurlbert in for Sikora. Passes out to Reichert from the left, right corner. Rebound taken down by Goodell, driving down the right side. Drives through the coverage, gets it out to Shipman, puts up the three, no. Hajdukovic with the turnaround putback, no good. And down the floor come the Ramblers. Reichert with it, stops at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left side. That's Olsen, shot's no good. And Goodell with it. She's across the timeline. Stops at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Hurlbert to Hajdukovic. Back out high. We're going to get a whistle. Looks like a foul on Jace Jensen. And it is. That's her first. Third team foul. Oh, no, wait a minute. They said the foul was on Reichert. Foul was on Reichert. Vikings inbounded. Hurlbert gets the layup underneath and ties the game at 12. Layla Hurlbert found a lane, got down underneath, and they found her, and she put it in. Ramblers with it on the right side. Taking it down, giving it over to Reichert. Tries to drive into the lane. Gets it back out, and the shot goes up by Cooper. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Gets it to Bovey. Cross-court pass over to Hurlbert. Shot goes up, no good. And down the floor come the Ramblers. Cooper driving into the lane. We're going to get a whistle. Count the basket, and we're going to get a foul. Foul's on Goodell. Sikora back into the lineup for the Vikings. Ramblers up 14-12. Cooper's shot is up and good, 15-12. That equals their biggest lead of the night. Down the floor, Sikora has it. Feeds it to Goodell on the right side. Back out into the corner. Back out high. Then to Sikora. Back out high to Bovey. Three-pointer's no good. And down the floor come the Ramblers. Pass is intercepted and goes out of bounds. Little slow getting up off the floor is Bryn Sikora. And the officials making sure she's okay. She's walking a little gingerly. Landed right on her wallet. Pass comes out high and then down to Reichert in the right corner. Back out to Borst. Feeds it into the lane. Hook shot up no good by Kassing. And the Vikings bring it down the floor.
Good defense by Hajdukovic.
And back out high. Three-pointers up no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. And she was grabbed that time by Kassing.
Yeah, I think Kassing twisted her ankle and had to grab her shoulder and drew the foul.
She was not very happy about that call, and the Viking fans weren't very happy because she slammed the ball to the floor. They thought that she should be whistled for a technical, but I think it was more out of frustration than anything. Inbound pass taken away by the Ramblers. Down the floor comes Cooper, lays it up and puts it in.
Cooper's got 7 points out of the 17.
Goodell with it. Feeds it over to the right side to Nichols. And we have a travel call being called on Bovey. Into the lineup is Adeline Aker for Bovey. Cooper with the ball for the Ramblers. Ramblers up by 5. 7:51 to go. On the left side, that's Reichert. Gets it back out high to Borst. And then to double. No, check that. That was Hawker, and the shot was no good. Nichols with it. Feeds it back out to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way. No. Rebound. Put back up. Off the iron. No good. Trying to come down with the ball are the Vikings, and we're going to get a whistle, and let's see if they call it. Yes, jump ball. It was either going to be a jump ball or it was going to be a travel on the Vikings.
Yeah, I'd like to see Colfax slow it down a little bit and see if they can get something inside. They've been shooting quite a few threes here, and nothing's been falling.
Vikings looking to get it in. Goodell with it, top of the key. Takes it down the right side, tries to put it up, ball got knocked away, and it goes out of bounds off of Cooper. So it'll be Viking ball. Goodell was on her way up. Cooper knocked it out of her hands, but it went out of bounds. Ball comes into Goodell. She feeds it into the lane to Shipman, who lays it up and in. That's just what you were talking about right there, Dan.
Yeah, use that inside for a while with casting out.
Ramblers still up by 3. Reichert with it on the right side. Feeds it back out high to Borst. Over to Cooper on the right wing. To Reichert, top of the key. Back over to Cooper. She takes it out to the top of the key. Now backs out between the circles. Drives down the right side of the lane, puts it up. And Coach Serrar did not like that. She didn't call for a travel because it was pretty much the same thing that happened down at the Viking end of the floor.
Yeah, the big jump step.
19-14, Ramblers up. Goodell with it. Feeds it over to the right side. Now back over to Shipman on the left. To Hajdukovic, to Shipman, and she got fouled going into the lane. So that's going to be a foul on Cooper. That's her first 15 foul on the Ramblers. 6:08 remaining. Vikings will have the ball underneath their own basket. Bovey gets it in to Goodell. Feeds it across to the right side to Shipman. Now it's Bovey. Out to Nichols. Over to Goodell. To Bovey. To Nichols. To Bovey from out on the right side. Ball got poked away. And Cooper gets called for a carry. And the Vikings get fortunate to get that ball back. Goodell has it, high, wide, and right. Now takes it between the circles. Over to the right side to Nichols. Back out high to Shipman. To Nichols. Out to Goodell, top of the key, drives down the right side, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound tipped around, coming away with it is Regis. Cooper with it. She comes across the timeline, feeds it down into the corner to Reichert, cross-court pass. Over to Olsen. Olsen between the circles, directing traffic, feeds it over to Cooper, drives the baseline, feeds it out to the left side, puts it up and in. That's Jace Jensen.
Yeah, Colfax got caught watching, left Jensen open.
21-14, 7-point lead for the Rambler. Ball gets tipped out of bounds, and the Vikings will retain possession. Goodell with it. Takes it down the left side this time. Tries to go up with it and drew the foul. I think it's going to be on Borst, but I've been wrong before. Nope. Hey, I got one right.
Number 11.
It's awfully early in the season for me to get him right. So Case and Goodell at the line for 2. First shot is up. It's good. And Sikora into the lineup for the Vikings, giving Hajdukovic a break. Second shot on the way. That one's also good. 21-16, a 5-point lead for the Ramblers, and they have the ball. 4:45 remaining. Coming down, putting up the shot is Cooper, a leaping leaner, and it went in. 23-16.
She has 11 points already.
To Nichols. Out high, three-pointer, and it's good! Goodell hit the three.
She has 9 points.
So 23-19. Vikings have cut it to 4. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Cooper with the ball, dribbles that out on the left side. Now takes it out between the circles. Being guarded by Goodell. Feeding it over to the right side, and it kind of rolled off her fingertips a little strangely. And Vikings get the ball. And we have a timeout on the floor. So with a timeout on the floor, you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Looking for a team approach to managing your finances? With over 70 years of experience and 12 locations, Derry State Bank has built a reputation for helpful customer service and support. While our service ethic is old-fashioned, our products and services are not. We offer a full range of loan programs as well as online banking, mobile deposit, and transaction alerts to fit your busy lifestyle. Derry State Bank, banking on relationships, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Back here at the Bill Allman Court at Regis High School, as the Ramblers have a 23-19 lead over the Vikings. Kaysen Goodell with the ball. She brings it down the floor, just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Bovey with it, feeds it over to Goodell. High, wide, and right, puts up the three. No, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Borst. Long pass down the floor. She couldn't connect, and it's taken away by Shipman. Down the floor comes Goodell. Fakes the pass into the middle, feeds it out. Layup going in by Sikora and does not drop in. And we get a jump ball called down underneath. Possession arrow in favor of the Ramblers.
Yeah, there hasn't been much inside for Colfax here tonight. Good job by Regis defense.
So coming down the floor is Ellie Mae Cooper. She comes across the timeline. Over to Reichert on the right side. Then out to Borst at the top of the key. To Cooper on the right side. Ball gets tipped away by Goodell. Goodell coming down the floor on the right. Feeds it over to Bovey. Puts up the three. No, but she got fouled, and she's going to go to the line for three.
Fouled by number 23.
Well, that's going to be Kara Olsen with the foul. I think that's her second. Maybe it's only her first. That's the 7th team foul, so more importantly, from here on out, the Vikings will be in the bonus. First shot is up, and it's off the back of the air, no good. She's got 2 more coming. Second shot on the way, that one's good. Into the lineup is Jennifer Maves, giving Sikora a break. Her third shot is up, in and out, no good. Rebound chased down by Hurlburt, and she tried to pass it underneath, and it went out of bounds. So it'll be Rambler ball, 23-20, just under 3 to go in the first half. Cooper with the ball. Takes it to the free throw line, drives the lane, kicks it out to Reichert, tries to step back, shots off the iron, no good. Rebound hauled down by Hurlburt, gets it to Bovey. Bovey, cross-court pass intercepted. Down the floor comes Olsen, puts it up, no good. Rebound, put back shot is up and in, and a whistle and a foul. Abby Hawker with the shot, and I believe the foul is going to be, well, they're saying it's on Shipman. That's the 5th foul on the Vikings. Hawker at the line to shoot the +1. And it's off the front of the iron. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Gets it to Goodell. Long pass, and she did not see that defensive back there. Just like Jordan Love.
That's right.
Cooper with it. Takes it over to the left side, puts it up, and it rolls in. 27-20.
13 points for Cooper.
Ramblers on top. Shot goes up, and in the 3. Sierra Shipman with the 3-pointer. 27-23. Under 2 to go. Shot goes up, whistle and a foul, and I think it's going to be on Shipman. It is. That'll be her 2nd personal, 6th team foul. First shot is up and good. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Lyric Nichols, giving Shipman a break. Sometimes when those fouls occur, because the legs aren't working for you as well as you'd like them to.
Yeah, and it's probably ever sit.
Second shot's good. 29-23, Ramblers up by 6. Down the floor comes Goodell, top of the key, over to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Nichols. Over to Bovey. Now they swing it over to the right side to Goodell. She's under a lot of pressure there. Tries to pass it, gets tipped. Goes into the backcourt. Picking it up that time was Hawker. And now they have it on the left side. That's Cooper driving into the lane. Puts it up and puts it in.
Yeah, Cooper's feeling it right now. She's got 15.
8-point lead for the Ramblers, 31-23. Bovey with it. Gets it over to Goodell. 3-pointer on the way off the back of the air, no good. Coming down with the rebound is Hyman. And now the Ramblers come down the floor. Out to Jensen. And then over to Reichert. She hit the 3.
She's got 3 threes.
Timeout being called by the Vikings. They want to talk it over, 34-23. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
40 seconds and some change remaining in the first half. Regis has opened up an 11-point lead over the Vikings, 34-23. Vikings have the ball. And they bring it down the floor. Goodell feeds it over to the left side to Nichols. Back out high to Bovee. Bovee gets it over to Aker. To Nichols. To Bovee. To Aker. To Hajdukovic. To Goodell. 13 seconds remaining.
See if they can get maybe Case in here with Bovee.
Bovee doesn't take it. 3 seconds left, and she got fouled. She's going to go to the line. Looked like she was going to pass it to the outside, then thought about shooting and got fouled in between.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to go to Case and Goodell, and they had her covered up pretty good.
And the first shot is up and good. 34-24. 2.1 seconds remaining in the first half. Jordan Bovee at the line for her second shot. It's on the way. It's off the air. No good. And that's going to take us to halftime. Coming up at halftime, we have the Viking halftime, including our Viking profile player, which today will be Kaysen Goodell. And that's coming up right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Yeah, that looks good. Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Kaysen Goodell, and you are a senior at Colfax High School, so this is not your first rodeo. And Kaysen, we know that you play basketball, but what are some other activities that you've been involved with here at school?
I do cross country and track.
Tell us about that cross country season. It was a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was really good. I made it to state for my 4th year in a row.
That's outstanding. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
I started playing when I was in 2nd grade, and I really love basketball, so it's been great.
Okay, now, what's the most important thing that you've learned from playing basketball?
You can't do anything without your team.
They're important, aren't they?
Yeah, very.
There's 5 for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you busy or occupied?
I like to hang out with my friends and go hunting and fishing and just being outside.
Okay, all right. All right, here's our trademark. Pie ice cream, cake or cookies?
Ice cream.
Which kind?
Chocolate.
Okay, that's a pretty good standard, isn't it? Yeah. All right, hot dog, burger, or brats?
Hot dogs.
And what do you want on those dogs?
Just ketchup. Just
ketchup, a plain hot dog with just ketchup. All right. Favorite color, why?
Green. I don't know, just 'cause.
Oh, okay, just a nice outdoorsy color. It goes with your hunting and stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
So if you could have a superpower, what would that power be and why?
I would be invisible, but I don't know. It just seems nice to be invisible.
Okay. And now, if you have the power of invisibility, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that superpower. So what's Kaysen's superhero name?
I don't think I need a superhero name just because I'm invisible, so you can't see me anyway.
Well, that is an interesting point. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. So why would you need a name if we can't see you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, the Shadow even had a name, but okay. Favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Probably the Bucks.
Okay. All right. How about a collegiate team?
Iowa or UConn.
Okay. All right. Well, they had a pretty good battle earlier, about a year ago. So, if there were a sports personality, or who would be the sports personality that you would like to sit down and have a meal with and kind of pick their brain a little bit? Can be from any time throughout the history of sports. Who do you think you'd like to sit down with?
Probably Michael Jordan.
He'd be an interesting one, wouldn't he? Yeah. Okay. All right, we're talking with Kaysen Goodell today on Viking Profile. What are your plans for after high school?
I plan to go to River Falls.
And do you have any idea what you're going to major in?
Animal science.
Okay. All right. How about a shout out to the family?
Hi, Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa and everybody.
All right. When people watch Viking games, where should they look for you on the court?
I'm a point guard and I'm number 4.
Okay. We want to thank Kaysen Goodell for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Hear that? That's the sound.
Hello there, Vincent the Turkey here. You know that Thanksgiving is a time for gathering together. If I get to Thanksgiving without becoming someone's main course, I would like to invite you and yours to gather with me for the Northern Light Webcasting Network's Thanksgiving Gathering 2024. They have gathered some of the best Thanksgiving-themed old-time radio programs from the golden age of radio, just to share with you. That's a Thanksgiving gathering from the Northern Light Webcasting Network on YouTube, NLWN-TV, Thanksgiving night, beginning at 7 p.m. on NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Regis High School. Just a few minutes left in halftime as the Vikings have fallen behind the Regis Ramblers 34-24 in what was a back-and-forth first half until the latter part of the half. Dan, why don't you let us know how we got to that score?
Yeah, here's the scores right now for the Ramblers. They're led by May Cooper. She's got 17 points, followed by Izzy Rickert with 9. We have Jace Johnson with 2, Carly Borst with 2, Malia Cassing with 2, and Abby Hawker with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led right now by number 4, Kason Goodell. She's got 9 points, followed by Jordan Bowley with 5, Sierra Shipman with 5, Bryn Sikora with 3, and Leo Herbert with 2. 34-24.
So basically what you're telling me is the Vikings need to find a way to put the kibosh on Ellie Mae Cooper.
Yeah, you know, about the last, I'd say 3-4 minutes in the half, and Colfax kind of got a little, maybe legs got a little tired or something. They didn't get back. They made some turnovers, and Regis just capitalized on those and jumped out to the quick lead.
Well, we'll be back with the start of second half action right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Girls Vikings game will be on Friday, November 22nd, when the Vikings take on the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on Friday, November 22nd on NLWN-TV.
NLWN2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Boys Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came in for!
Our first game of the season will be on Tuesday, November 26th, when the Vikings play host to the McDonnell Central Max. Coverage begins with Viking Pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on Tuesday, November 26th.
And we're back here at the Bill Ullman Gymnasium, or Bill Ullman Court at Regis High School. Nicely redone, as you can now see. as they put in a brand new floor, new scoreboards, new bleachers. It's a nice facility. And the Vikings have got to learn to make it a little nicer for them. You know, Dan, you made some comments in the first half about how maybe the Vikings don't go away from the three-pointer, but don't rely on it completely either.
Yeah, you know, it just makes Regis kind of just come out and guard that three-point line, and which will always leave the middle open, you know, for Clara underneath, maybe even Sierra, and yeah, do a little more inside out. You know, that's what happens when your legs get tired, maybe a little fatigue. You start just shooting threes and not, you know, get in there and run in your normal plays.
And you could see that late in the half. There were some tired legs out there on the floor, some reaching and grabbing that was happening instead of playing defense with your feet.
Yeah,
and
you know, maybe, you know, they had a few timeouts they could have used, and you're going to use those
what?
and kind of
You mean Coach Serrar would call timeouts?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything to you that I haven't said to her. So
yeah, right. Yeah, you know, and but it's only a 10-point game, and they'll get in rhythm here in the first at the beginning here, and yeah, and make it come down to free throws at the end.
Well, the Vikings will have the ball to start the second half, and we are just about ready to do that.
They need to get Claire more involved, maybe underneath, and she's got to post up, find some openings underneath. She's going to have her hands full of castings in there. But
it does look as though she has gotten a little more physically aggressive than she was last year. She was, to be perfectly honest with you, she's pretty timid last year out there, but she was pretty young. This year she's out there as a junior and kind of asserting herself a little bit. Now they just have to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Bovey and Goodell can shoot the threes, and then they just need a little help inside.
So the Vikings ready to inbound the ball. Bryn Sikora to pass it in to Goodell. And the pass comes in. Goodell across the timeline, feeds it over to the right side to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Sikora. Sikora at the top of the key, loses the handle, picks it up, gets it over to Goodell. Goodell driving down the right side, back out, gets it to Hajdukovic. Spins in the lane, tries to put it up, can't get it to go. We get a whistle underneath. And foul's on the Ramblers. And it's on Reichert. That'll be Izzy Reichert's second personal. First team foul on the Ramblers in the second half. Pass comes in to Sikora. She kicks it out to Hajdukovic, puts up a jumper, no good. Rebound, chased down, and coming away with it are the Ramblers. Olsen with it, drives the length of the floor, puts it up, and it goes in. Goodell with it across the timeline for the Vikings. Three-point shot by Shipman, no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Reichert has it on the left side. Dribbles around in circles, gets it out to Cooper. Cooper feeds it off to the right corner. Olsen puts up the shot off the back of the air, no good. Rebound taken down by Kassing, who puts it in.
No, it was blocked by Hajdukovic.
Okay. I was looking down.
Yeah.
I'm trusting on you there, Dan.
Yeah, it was good block by Clara.
Anyway, the Vikings have it. At the top of the key, that's Sikora. Feeding it over to the left side to Shipman. Gets it back out to Goodell. Goodell tries to penetrate, has to back out. Over to Hajdukovic. She's just outside the arc on the right side. Now at the top of the key to Bovey. Over to the left side. Goodell tries the left baseline. Feeds it back out to Sikora. Shots up, no good. Rebound taken down by Olsen for the Ramblers. Across the timeline. Cross-court pass over to Reichert. Three-pointer on the way. Off the air, no good. Chased down by Goodell. Goodell across the timeline. Takes it into the lane. Feeds it back out to Bovey. Bovey long three-pointer. She hit the three. Jordan Bovey with a three-pointer.
She has 8 points tonight.
36-27. Cooper with it over on the right side, feeds it over to Reichert. Reichert drives to the lane, pass across the lane, gets tipped out of bounds by the Vikings. I think that was Hajdukovic got a hand on it.
Yeah, good job by Kaysen to come down and help too.
Pass comes in, and Reichert from the corner, she hit it. You know, if you cover Cooper, you got to watch out for Izzy Reichert because she's deadly from those corners, and she hits from both of them.
She has 4 threes, 12 points.
And a attempted shot, but foul on the way as Bovey was going into the lane. And that's going to be a foul on Malia Cassing. Third personal foul for Cassing. That's the closest to anybody being in any kind of foul trouble. First shot is up. Off the iron, no good. Nichols and Hurlburt are into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot is up. Off the iron, no good. Chased down by Hurlburt. Gets it out to Bovey. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Reichert feeds it over to the right side to Cooper. High, wide, and right. Takes it to the top of the key. Launches a three. No. Goodell takes it down and comes across the timeline with it. Free throw line jump shot up off the back of the iron. No good. Olsen gets the rebound and feeds it over to Cooper. Cooper tries the right side, lowers her shoulder, and they're going to call a blocking foul on the Vikings.
Yeah, if she would have went square, she would have been all right, but she turned her hips and got called for the block.
I do think, though, that Cooper saw that and put the shoulder down just to make sure the foul got called.
Yeah, and that got her to the line. Oh, it didn't get her to the line.
But that is the second foul on Bovey. First team foul on the Vikings this half. Pass comes in high and gets it over to Jensen. Back out to Cooper. Then it's to Hawker. Hawker on the left side. Ball gets tipped away, and Goodell has it. Down the floor she comes on the right side. Takes it to the lane. Spins. Puts the ball up. It won't go. And down the floor. And laying it in is Cooper.
She's got 19 points.
And Hurlburt traveled.
Yeah, Colfax getting a little
rattled?
A little rattled, maybe trying to go a little too fast right now. They need to slow down and get into their half-court set.
Hurlburt had the right idea. She tried the spin move to the hoop and took one extra step in the process. 41-27. Down the floor. Come the Ramblers. Hawker puts it up, no good. Rebound batted around. Coming away with it is Borston. As she put the shot up, she got fouled.
Yeah, a little reach in there by Bovey.
That'll be the third foul on Bovey. So Carly Brost at the line. First shot is up, and it's good. Shipman into the lineup for the Vikings. And so also coming in is Jennifer Maves. Borst with her second shot. It's off the iron, no good. Shipman with the rebound and gives it off to Goodell, who comes across the timeline. Pauses, drives into the lane, kicks it out to Hurlburt, lays it up, it won't go in, tipped around, and coming away with it are the Ramblers. Olsen takes it across the timeline on the right side, out to Reichert at the top of the key. Reichert feeds it over to Jensen on the left, puts it up. And the Vikings have it. Goodell with it. Feeding it over to the left side. Putting it up is no good, and that was Nichols. This was something that plagued the Vikings last year, is cold shooting at times. Feeding it down underneath. Shot goes up. It's going to count, and we're going to get a foul on Maves. As Carly Borst is going to go to the line for the +1. That's her first personal. Third team foul on the Vikings. Hajdukovic checked in. Bovey checks in for the Vikings. Hajdukovic for Maves. Bovey for Hurlburt. And the shot is up, and it's good. 45-27. Goodell has it for the Vikings. Takes it over to the left side, hands it off. Ball goes up and goes through by Bovey. And she's going to go to the line for the +1. And the foul is going to be on Kara Olsen.
10 points.
That's her second and third team foul.
10 points for Bovey so far tonight.
Shot is up. It's good. 45-30. Vikings in a bit of a hole. Olsen stumbles a little bit, gets it fed into the forecourt to Hawker. Hawker guarded closely by Goodell. Gets it back out to Olsen, high, wide, and right. Then to Borst. Then from the right corner is Reichert, and the shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Coming down the floor is, we're going to get a whistle and a foul. It was Sikora bringing it down the floor, and someone got a piece of her, and that was Reichert. That's Reichert's third foul. So Goodell has it between the circles, takes it over to the right side, gets it to Nichols, feeds it off to Bovey. Bovey shot from inside the arc, and it's good. 45-33. Vikings trying to scratch their way back. Hawker with it, feeds it down underneath, and the shot is up and in by Cassing. Goodell with it, hands it off to Bovey, puts up the three. She hit the three! Jordan Bovey with the three. 47-36. Vikings cut that lead to 11.
17 points for Bovey in this tonight.
Reichert gets it to Cassing, and they try to feed it into Borst, but she got fouled. Foul's going to be on Sikora. I think that's number 4. Nope, they say 3. Fourth team foul. I knew there was a 4 in there somewhere. Ramblers trying to inbound the ball. They get it way out high to Hawking. Hawking on the dribble. Feeds it into the lane. Borst puts it up. It's no good. Partially blocked by Hajdukovic. She came away with it, and the Vikings come down the floor. Goodell, top of the key. Feeds it over to Shipman. Back to Goodell. Goodell thought about a 3. Didn't take it. Drives the lane. Puts it up. It won't go. Right idea. Just wouldn't go down. Ramblers come down. We're going to get a whistle and a foul, and the shot is good by Cooper.
Wasn't much of a touch from Sierra Shipman, but it was enough to, we just drew the foul.
That's the third foul on Sierra. 5th team foul on the Vikings. And the shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers, though. Cooper with it between the circles. Feeds it down to the left side. Now back out high to the left wing. Down to the top of the key. Shot goes up by Olsen. It's good. And it's a three-pointer.
Yeah, everything's falling for Regis right now.
52-36. Bovey with it. Almost lost the handle. Kept it going. And a three-pointer by Goodell is no good. And we have a battle for the ball.
Yeah, good job by Sierra Shipman there to rip it out of Castling hands.
And it was a foul. It wasn't a jump ball.
It was a foul?
Yeah, they called a foul on Shipman.
Oh, I thought it was jump ball.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe the foul was the other way. It was on Abby Hawker. That's the second foul on Hawker. 5th team foul on Regis. Ball comes into Goodell. Out to Aker. Back over to Goodell. Goodell over to Hajdukovic from the right corner or left corner. It's no good. Rebound comes down to the Ramblers, and they bring it across the timeline. Olsen with it, high, wide, and left. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Borst. She goes up with it and got fouled on her way up. Fouled by Goodell. So that's the second personal on Goodell. 6th team foul on the Vikings, which means after this, the Ramblers will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Shot goes up, it's good. 53-36. Shipman and Sikora into the lineup for the Vikings for Hajdukovic and Hurlburt. (53-36). Shot is up, and that one's good. 54-36. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Ramblers. Timeout on the floor. 9:44 to go in the game, and it's the Ramblers 54, Vikings 36. As you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Back here in Eau Claire at Regis High School, Vikings have the ball. Shipman to inbound it. Bovey has it, feeds it over to Goodell, comes across the timeline to Sikora, back out to Goodell. Goodell feeds it over to Aker. Aker puts up a three, no. Off the glass. And Cooper brings it down the floor. Pass is tipped away, and away come the Vikings. Bovey with it. Takes it into the lane, and we're going to get a whistle. Basket's going to count. And Bovey's going to go to the line for the +1. And that's a foul on Reichert. That's her 4th personal.
19 points for Bovey so far.
And 6th foul on the Ramblers. So both teams will be in the bonus from here on out. Shot is up. In and out, no good. Whistle. We have a lane violation, and she's going to get another try at it. I think they were calling the lane violation on Hawker. Got into the lane too early. At least that's kind of where he pointed. Now the shot's up, and that one's good. So 20 points for Jordan Bovey. 54-39, Regis on top. Olsen with it on the right side. Gets it out to Borst. Then over to Cooper. Cooper out to Olsen from the top of the key. It's off the back there, no good. Rebound. We're going to get a foul, and I think it's going to be on Bovey.
Yeah,
it is.
That wasn't a very good foul by Bovey. We need to keep.
She kind of came over the back that time.
Yeah. She'll have to sit down.
That's her fourth personal. 8:55 to go. And for shooting the 1-and-1 is Borst. Shot goes up. That one's good. And the shot is on its way. It's also good.
She has 10 points tonight.
Goodell bringing it across the timeline. Takes it down the right side. Feeds it out to Shipman. Tries to feed it down to Hurlburt, but it got intercepted by the Ramblers. Cooper with it. Over on the right side. She's on the right wing. Now dribbles it back out high. She's high, wide, and right. Using as much clock as she can. Now drives into the lane. Kicks it out to Jensen. Puts up the three. No good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings, and Goodell comes down the floor. Goodell takes it over to the left side. Out to Hurlburt. Puts up the three. No. Rebound by Shipman, and we get a whistle and a foul. And that foul is going to be on Jensen. Chase Jensen. That's going to put Shipman to the line for the 1-and-1. It's the first personal on Jensen. 8th foul. I thought. Maybe it's only the 7th. But the first shot went up and good. Malia Cassing into the lineup for the Ramblers. Shot is on the way. It's also good. 56-41.
7 points for Sierra Shipman.
Borst has it at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side. That's Cooper. Out to Olsen, top of the key. Three-pointer on the way off the back of the air. No good. Rebound taken down by Goodell. Kason Goodell takes it across the timeline on the left side. Takes it to the lane. Puts a jump shot up. No good. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Feeding into the lane. Underneath, Cassing puts the shot up, no good. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Goodell with it, feeds it off to the right side. Hurlburt with a three, no. Ramblers come away with it. Down the floor is Cooper. Feeds it across underneath to Borsch. She puts it up and in. Goodell with it on the right side for the Vikings. Tried to pass it over to Hurlburt. It got tipped, but Hurlburt chased it down. Back out to Goodell. Goodell hands it off to Shipman. Shipman over to Nichols. Stops in the middle of the lane. Tries to put the shot up, but no good as she was falling over. And the Ramblers come down the floor. Three-pointer launched by Cooper, and it's good. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Vikings as the Ramblers open up a 61-41 lead. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV. NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Banking on relationships, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Looking for a team approach to managing your finances? With over 70 years of experience and 12 locations, Derry State Bank has built a reputation for helpful customer service and support. While our service ethic is old-fashioned, our products and services are not. We offer a full range of loan programs as well as online banking, mobile deposit, and transaction alerts to fit your busy lifestyle. Derry State Bank, banking on relationships, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Back here at Regis High School, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera as we're opening up the 2024-2025 girls basketball season. And the Vikings have their work cut out for them because they're trailing the Ramblers 61-41.
Yeah, I think if Colfax can get back in their half-court set and get a basket to go in, then kind of get back in rhythm, they'll get right back in this.
They feed it over into the right corner to Shipman. Shipman dribbles it around the arc. Gets it over to Bovey. Bovey to Goodell. Goodell hands it off to Bovey, and we're going to get a whistle. And it's
should be a reach-in by Cooper.
And it should put the Vikings to the line with the 1-1. Cooper on the foul. It is her third, and it's the 8th team foul. So Jordan Bovey at the line. First shot is up and good.
They are 10 for 15 from the line tonight.
And her second shot is on the way. That's also good. I believe that's 17 second half points for Jordan Bovey, if my head remembers the math correctly. Cooper feeds it underneath to Borst, who puts it up and in.
Tough shot for Borst.
63-43, Ramblers on top. Shipman feeds it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic out to Goodell. Goodell with it. And tipped out of bounds by the Ramblers. Into the lineup for the Vikings is Nichols, coming in for Hajdukovic. That's quite the mismatch when I look at Nichols down there trying to take on Cassing. She about comes up to Cassing's chin. Inbound pass coming into Bovey. Feeds it out to Nichols. We get a whistle, and I think it's going to be a foul on Cassing.
2 quick ones for her.
That's her 4th personal. And so Nichols at the line for the 1-1. That's a 9th team foul, so from this point on, the Vikings will be shooting 2. First one's good.
You know, that's an odd mismatch. Nichols will be a little faster than Cassing.
Second shot is up. No. Rebound taken down by the Ramblers. Cooper has it across the timeline. Between the circles. Heading over to the right side. To Reichert. Then out. And over to Cooper. To Reichert, to Cooper. And the ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Bovee with a solo shot, and it's good. 63-46. Cooper with it. Feeds it over to the near side to Hawker. Back out high. That's Borst. Over to Cooper on the left side. She's high, wide, and left. Out high to Hawker between the circles. Over to Cooper on the left side. Takes it between the circles. Feeds it to Reichert on the right. To Borst. Then to Cooper on the right side. She's being harassed over there by Goodell. Now she drives into the lane. Whistle. And the foul's going to be on Goodell. That's the 8th foul on the Vikings. 3rd on Kason Goodell. And it sends Cooper to the line for 2. Or no, I take that back. She's on the 1-on-1. And the first one's good. Second shot on the way. It's also good.
She has 26 points so far.
65-46. Vikings come across the timeline. Kason Goodell with the ball. Feeds it over to the left side to Shipman. Back out to Bovee. Bovee gets it out to Goodell. Goodell feeds it to the left side. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound thrown off the body and finally picked up by the Ramblers and now taken away by the Vikings. Feeding it down to Shipman. She lays it up. She misses it. And the Ramblers have it. Cooper with it. Across the timeline. Over to Reichert on the right side. High, wide, and right. Then back out. High to Borst. Now to Cooper. Cooper back out to Reichert between the circles. They're using as much clock as they can. Cooper with a shot from the line. It's good. 67-46. Ramblers up by 21. Bovee with it. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Pass comes in. Gets knocked around. And down the floor come the Ramblers. Long pass. Shot goes up. No good. And the Vikings come away with it. Bovee with a three-pointer. She hit the three. And we have a timeout on the floor with the score. The Vikings 49, but the Ramblers have 67, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-2 is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School boys basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season.
This is what we came in for.
Our first game of the season will be on Tuesday, November 26th, when the Vikings play host to the McDonell Central Max. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on Tuesday, November 26th.
Hello there, Vincent the Turkey here. You know that Thanksgiving is a time for gathering together. If I get to Thanksgiving without becoming someone's main course, I would like to invite you and yours to gather with me for the Northern Light Webcasting Network's Thanksgiving Gathering 2024. They have gathered some of the best Thanksgiving-themed old-time radio programs from the golden age of radio, just to share with you. That's a Thanksgiving gathering from the Northern Light Webcasting Network on YouTube, NLWN-TV, Thanksgiving night, beginning at 7 p.m. on NLWN-TV.
And there's a correction on that. It's not going to be aired on Thanksgiving night because the Packers are playing on Thanksgiving night. We don't want you to miss that. But we do want you to see our show.
Yeah, and our bellies will be full.
Right. So, yeah, everybody's going to be sleeping anyway from the tryptophan. But our Thanksgiving gathering will be aired on Friday the 29th, starting at 7 p.m. Ramblers inbound the ball. Cooper has it. 2.5 minutes to go. She brings it across the timeline. Fades it over to the right side to Olsen, and there's a whistle and a foul on Bovey.
Is that 5? I think so.
That's her 5th, and it's the 9th foul on the Vikings. So Bovey goes out with how many points?
Bovey goes out 20 points.
How many?
20.
No, she has more than that. She had 22 or something just a little while ago. Shot goes up, and it's good.
17, 19, 20, 22. Oh, yeah. 26, 28.
Okay, that makes more sense. And the second shot is on the way. It's also good. 69-49. Ramblers up by 20. Goodell with it. Hands it off to Nichols. Nichols turns, gets it out to Shipman, puts up a 3. No. Ramblers feed it down underneath, and now they kick it back out high. That was Cassing underneath. Got it back out to Cooper. Under 2 minutes to go. Ramblers using the clock as best they can. Olsen with it. To Borst. To Cooper. Drives into the lane, turns, and backs it back out again. And Cooper still has it. Now we get a whistle and a foul. So, Kaysen Goodell with her 4th foul. So, Cooper at the line to shoot 2. First one's on the way. It's good. And the second shot is good.
30 points for Ellie Mae Cooper so far.
So Goodell has it across the timeline. Lost the handle of it, but picked it back up. Puts up the 3. No. Rebound. Taken down by Sikora, and we get a whistle and a foul underneath. I think it's going to be on Cooper. Yes, it is. Sometimes you can tell just by the expression on the kid's face.
That's her 4th.
And it's the 10th team foul. So shooting 2 is Bryn Sikora. First shot's up. It's good. Couple of fresh bodies coming in there. Kaylin Borst is now in there for the Ramblers. And the shot is on its way. It's no good. Rebound being chased down. Nichols grabbed it. Gets it over to Shipman. And the ball gets tipped out of bounds. Sikora to inbound the ball for the Vikings. Minute 13 remaining. Goodell with it. Gets it out to Sikora, top of the key. Feeds it over to Nichols. Nichols drives down, puts it up, and it goes in. 2 points for Nichols. Under a minute.
She has 3 points here in the second half.
Cooper has it, and now feeds it over to Reichert. Down into the corner, driving the baseline is Cooper. Ball gets tipped away, and the Vikings have it. Coming up on 30 seconds remaining. Goodell out to Sikora, puts up the 3, in and out, no good. Rebound, battled for on the floor. We're going to get a jump ball. And possession arrow is in favor of the Ramblers. couple other fresh bodies coming in for the Ramblers. Liv Strombach. And I lost track of the other one.
Number 14.
That was Kaylin Borsch. She came in last substitution. Pass comes into Goodell. Or Goodell stole it, I should say. Well, now the Ramblers get it back down the floor, driving, and ball goes out of bounds off the Vikings. That was Stambo. I think that's how that's pronounced. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Inbound pass taken away by Nichols. She lays it up. No. Rebound. Going right back up with it is Sikora. No, it won't go. Next shot, no good. And a whistle and a foul. That last shot was attempted by Sikora. Or not, check that. By Sierra Shipman.
Falls on 20 for Regis.
That was Maddie Payne the foul was on. That was the other player. Four in, 4 out for the Vikings. They got too many out there.
Let's see. Ari
Nichols wasn't quite sure about who was coming out. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down, and the shot goes up and in, and there's the buzzer.
Ari Hoffman gets 2 points.
So that makes the final score. The Regis Ramblers 71 and the Vikings 46.
55.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. 71 to 55. I'm glad Dan's here. He's got my back. So that's it for game number 1 of the season. We'll have Viking postgame coming up in just a couple of moments as you're tuned to Viking basketball on NLWN-TV.
NLWN-TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Girls Vikings game will be on Friday, November 22nd, when the Vikings take on the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks from Colfax High School. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on Friday, November 22nd on NLWN-TV.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Back here at Regis High School, where the Vikings come up short on the short end of a 71-55 game against the Regis Ramblers. And Dan, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was a close game, in the first half there. And it seemed like maybe Colfax got a little rushed, maybe a little tired in the last 4 minutes of that first half, lost their legs, and Regis kind of stayed in their half court, took advantage of some turnovers, jumped out to that big lead, and then they held on.
The other thing that should be pointed out is that with only Kason Goodell as a senior on the Vikings, yes, the rest of the players are juniors, but they don't have a ton of experience. And so when they fell behind at the end of the first half and going into the second half, they kind of fell into panic mode. And I'll tell you what, it gives Coach Serrar some things to work with.
Yeah, their interior presence pretty much was non-existent tonight. We got to get maybe Claire Hajdukovic and Bryn Sikora. Those are going to be like your tough girls inside. Maybe a little bit of Sierra Shipman. We saw that in the second half. And a little more inside-outside game.
And they got to hit the shots. Missed layups, you just can't have it. The 10-footers inside the arc, they've got to hit those, at least with a better percentage.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. As I age, how you see that when a team gets behind, they kind of get in a little bit of panic mode. You don't get in panic mode. You kind of just settle down to what you know and start putting points in. And maybe they got in a little panic mode, got pushing a little too hard, and it kind of got them out of rhythm. And then, Regis took advantage.
Well, while we're waiting to see if we see Coach Serrar come up today, why don't you tell us how we got to the score we got to?
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for the Ramblers. They're led by number 21, Ellie Mae Cooper. She had 30 points. Followed by Carly Borst with 14, and Izzy Rickard had 12. We had Jace Jensen with 2. We had Cassing with 4. We had Cara Olsen with 7, and Abby Hawker with 2. For the Vikings, they're led tonight by number 12, Jordan Bovey. She had 28 points. Followed by Kason Goodell with 9. We had Nichols with 3. We had Sierra Shipman with 7. Ari Hoffman had 2, and Bryn Sikora had 4. 71-55, Regis gets the win.
And the pleasant surprise tonight, although not a total surprise if you look at the Vikings, and I see Coach Serrar downstairs. I'm not sure if she's going to be heading up this way or not. We'll see what happens. And,
like I said, it's somewhat of a young team. They'll figure it out. Regis is always a tough team. This is Division III school, and they got a good program, and Colfax can get in their rhythm here coming up in the next 4 or 5 games and go from there.
Well, and this is what happened last year. The Vikings got off to a tough start against the Ramblers. In fact, they got off to a tough several games to start the season, and then still put it together for what most schools would consider a very highly successful season.
Yeah, so Cassing didn't put up a lot of points tonight, but her presence underneath kind of made Colfax shoot outside. And that's going to be a big part for Regis this year.
And I'm not sure if we're getting Coach Serrar up here or not. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a bit of a timeout as we're going to see if Coach Serrar is going to come up and talk with us tonight as you're tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
but I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
We're back here at Regis High School on the Bill Ullman Court as the Vikings have just dropped their season opener to the Regis Ramblers by a score of 71-55. And as we were saying, the Vikings have struggled against the Ramblers, but it's awfully good competition for them, and that's always been the thought for the Vikings, is that if you want to be really good, you've got to play really good. And that's what they're working on and trying to get that together. So, leading scorers again for the Vikings, Jordan Bovey pulled things out with 28 points tonight. And for the Ramblers, Ella Mae Cooper with 30 points. Good nights for both teams. Both head coaches, Courtney Serrar and Teddy Joas, are heading into their 5th seasons at the helm of their respective teams. We know Teddy from this last summer with our Cavalier games. He's the chief umpire for the Chippewa River Baseball League, and we had that series of specials that we did during Cavalier doubleheaders between the games called The Life of the Umpire, where Teddy filled us in on a lot of things that people don't always think about when it comes to umpires. And that was a nice series, and Teddy was very gracious to give us his time with that. So, a couple things I wanted to remind you about. I want to remind you to join us coming up Friday of this week, right before deer season, right here on NLWN-TV, as we bring you the Colfax Vikings Girls Basketball. The Vikings are going to take on the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. Our coverage begins with the Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action. Then on Tuesday, the 26th, you'll come out of the woods just in time for some more basketball, and this time it'll be the boys, as the boys will open their 2024-2025 season by hosting, and this will be a tough one, the McDonald Central Max. Our coverage is going to begin with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play action. Also join us on NLWN-TV and NLWN-2 for our annual Thanksgiving gathering, where we bring you some of the finest in Thanksgiving-themed old-time radio programs. This year we'll be featuring Abbott and Costello, Harold Perry Show, The Life of Riley, and The Mel Blanc Show. And this year we're going to air our Thanksgiving gathering on Friday, November 29th, so you can still watch the Packer game on Thanksgiving night. That's a Thanksgiving gathering 2024 on both NLWN-TV and NLWN-2. That's on Friday, November 29th at 7 p.m. Coming up on January 6th, the Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event. That's kind of a milestone, so be sure to stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up January 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for Western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors by doing a little business with them, and as they're what allows us to bring you Colfax Viking basketball right here on NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson on the camera, I'm Rick Olson. That final score once again, has been the Regis Ramblers 71, Vikings 55. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.